Päivää goddag and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while now again since I filmed something because it has been the Christmas holidays and it's a new year and I haven't been working on my project cars anything in almost 3 weeks, and that's because I have been in Lapland driving snowmobile and spending a lot of time with family and friends, so it has not been so much work here in the garage. But I have been doing some service on my snowmobile after I came home from Lapland. The suspension hasn't been done any work to the suspension in about 3 years at least, so long I have owned it. So the shock absorbers need some service. And I actually started yesterday building this wagon again a little bit. I got this hood bracket back from the sandblasting, so it's now in place and it's original one. It has not been cut anyways, so it's steady and good and is now where it belongs. And I started making some mounts for the radiator and intercooler and oil cooler, so I will continue with that today. But I promised you that we have a look on the winter beater, so let's look at that one. So here it is, original E36 328, but the engine has been changed to a 2.5 liter M52 TUB25, and it's from E39. It was changed by the previous owner, but it had some idling issues and a lot of more stuff that had to be fixed, so I got it for a good price, and I have been fixing it now for a couple of weeks before the new year, so it's now working completely like it should. It has a Fekzen Performance chip, and the rev limiter is at 7000 RPM with a hard cut. It pulls very good and is nice to drive. And it also has the full M-Sport half leather interior from original, just some racing steering wheel and short shifter. It's the ZF gearbox, and everything works like it should. 345 welded differential, and I also made these widened steel wheels. So these are 16 inch diameter and 9.2 wide in the rear and 8.5 in the front. And I also put the same lights I had on the last project, Benz. So this will be my winter ride now. So now we have a steady bracket for the radiator and intercooler right here. I still have to make some mounts for the oil cooler, which comes on top of the intercooler right here in the front. So I will start looking at that next. And I also cut a hole to see where the shifter will come. I think I will use the original holes that is for the automatic gearbox shifter. Make a plate and then just put something over that hole that I cut. Need to be made a little bit higher so the shifter won't hit in the propeller shaft. But now I think I will show you some parts that I have received. And we can start with this Billet Flywheel for the V8, the M62 engine. And this is made by Mika Salminen here in Finland. He makes different billet parts, mostly flywheels, for different swaps. And he also welds BMW ZF gearboxes. So I will use that one in my E36 with the V8. And I also received this gearbox from the gearbox is from my friend Tomppa Toiveainen, same guy who got me the gearbox for the Benz. And Mika Billet welded this bell housing on this one. He has jigs and everything for that stuff, so I didn't want to make any more work about that. It was just easy to have him to make it. He cut both gearboxes and welded, and then he put them up in the lathe and made this surface nice and clean, so it fits good straight on the V8 engine, which is here. I actually mounted some parts on it here on the Christmas holidays. I got the wall covers back from sandblasting, so I just painted them with some heat-resistant paint. New gaskets, both in the intake and on the wall covers. So it's just to put this inside the car with the gearbox and start making some exhaust manifolds. I also installed this plate, which I made at work, billet plate, which bypasses the old engine mount, so I can put some AN10 hoses right here for some oil cooler or something. I got the whole axle stuff for both the Benz and the BMW. Here is for the BMW. This is the rear subframe and some control arms and the spindles, and everything is sandblasted and painted and looking very nice. Here is also the front engine bracket. I have welded these ears here on this stock support. So the old engine mounts bolts in these holes, and now they will go here. So this will be interesting to see. These plates came with the swap kit from Autocenter Performance. So it will be interesting to see how that fits in the car. And here is everything for the Benz. Same as in the previous project. Everything is sandblasted and painted. I will now... Next up is installing some bushings here and all the ball joints and everything that needs to be bearings and stuff. I don't remember if I showed you, but I have welded in some steel pieces here instead of the bushings in the rear subframe, because the 124 has bushings both in the rear and here in the front. But I deleted the bushings and I have made a billet piece here to just mount the differential straight to the subframe with no bushings, same as on the 190, because you don't get those bushings with the Strongflex kit. So you have to make something other solutions there. I think the original bushings go well also, but I don't want any rubber bushings, so I just welded them up. And here I also have a rear wing for the wagon. I had one on my old black 124 wagon, which I had a couple of years ago. And it was made for the Mercedes, so it was a direct fit, but this is from a Volvo 850. It is too wide and these mounting points need to be modified, but I think this will look good on the trunk of the wagon. Here is also a bracket or a bash bar for the E36, but I don't think I will use this one. I will make a new one for myself. And here is some front control arms which are sponsored by MP Creative Metal, and these are a bit wider. I don't remember actually. I think they are 5 or 6 centimeters wider than the E36 control arms. So these are good for drifting use. Just these axles have to be welded here in the fork piece here in the rear, and then they fit on the stock mounting point. So I have a couple of series of those for my cars. They also received this Asd Differential for the wagon Mercedes. This is with 3:27 ratio and it's in good condition. It has not been in any tuning use, so it's from a stock car. And I will open it and check if everything is okay, but it feels very good. It had the 265 Asd differential before, but that is way too high ratio for the 6-speed gearbox, so I had this same ratio on my previous wagon, so I know that this works well. The car also had these billet drive shafts. I put these on the car already when I had it the previous time. So I will just swap these outer CV joints for the bigger ones, same as on the 190 from the Mercedes 210 model. I have already machined these hubs so they fit in the spindles, same as the other project. And here I have the stock brakes from the TDT wagon. I will use only stock brakes on it, no bigger ones. The stock ones goes well. They are in good condition. I just bought new discs and brake pads, so I will have to paint the calipers so they just look nice. I have also received this wastegate that fits the Kangaroo Steam manifold. It's a 38mm wastegate, so I will see if that is big enough for the power I'm going to be driving with, or if I need to find some bigger wastegate and make some other mount for it. But I will try with this one now. So I think that's everything for this episode. I'm sorry for the delay on these episodes now, but I will try to make some more of them now when the holidays are over. So I'm quite back at it right now with this Mercedes, so I will try to finish it off and so I can get it to the paint shop, to Kiitola Bilmåleri, so he can do his magic with it. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Moro!
Look what's risen out the bad patch. Shell crack be the last of the batch to hatch. I'm here to blaze with my last bag and last match.